welcome to the movie show today. So you're here with our hosts, Phil Stoneman and
Daniel Lee.
Nice to see you, Daniel. How are you?
I'm not too bad, thanks. What about yourself?
Great. Yeah, not bad at all. Thanks. Excited to be talking today about a very important, famous, classic movie. So Have you seen this film, Dan? Have you seen Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Oh, yeah. It's one of my favorites.
Well, me too, definitely. So as many of us know, of course, this is a great action adventure film. It was made back in 1981 and is so often included on people's top 10 movies lists. Of course, it was made by some very famous people. Here we have George Lucas, who created Star Wars. Steven Spielberg, the director, who's made many amazing and very popular Hollywood movies, and also our star Harrison Ford, who plays Indiana Jones. Because this was 1981, just 4 years after he played Han Solo in the first of the Star Wars movies. So the film was shot in a number of different places, made in a studio in England, and then also shot on location in France, Tunisia, and Hawaii. And as you can see here, very successful at the Oscars. It actually won 5 different Oscars, as well as many other awards, and was also a very profitable film at the box office. So can you tell us a bit about the plot, Dan?
Yes, well, it starts with this scene with Indiana Jones in South America. He's in the jungle and he's in a cave and he's looking to steal an ancient idol. And as he goes to steal it and take it, well, he sets off these traps and he's chased out of a boulder falls down and starts to chase after him, and he just manages to escape. And he gets out into the jungle, and then he's attacked by a tribe of Indians, but he manages to escape them. And that sets the scene, really, for what the film is about. It then goes, well, the scene is set in 1930s, in the 1930s. And of course, what was happening in the 1930s was the Nazi party was in power in Germany, and they're looking to get the Ark of the Covenant, from which is discussed in the Bible. And the Ark of the Covenant would mean that any army holding it was invincible. And so Indiana Jones then goes off to Egypt, I believe, to find the Ark of the Covenant, and that's the story. That's where it's set.
So what do you think about Raiders of the Lost Ark then, Dan? You mentioned this is one of your favorite films. Why?
Well, it's just it's constant action. There's always something happening. Your heart rate's always pounding because of what's going on, and there's lots of humor as well. So it's funny. There's lots of action, and it's for everybody. It's not just for one age group. Children love it, adults love it, and that's why it's such a great film.
No, definitely. I mean, I think kind of it has as you say, such a fast-paced plot. So many different action scenes, lots of things happening. It's really thrilling. Often, especially, of course, all these fights between Indiana Jones and the Nazis. Of course, there's a very famous scene, isn't there, where he fights a guy in a market.
That's right. And I have a trivia question for you. He fights the Arab swordsman in the market, and he pulls out a gun. And as we know, what happens? He shoots the Arab swordsman. But do you know that wasn't originally in the story? And do you know why?
So I imagine maybe they ran out of time for the day?
No. Harrison Ford actually had diarrhea, and he was dying for the toilet. And as a joke, because he didn't want to do a long fight scene, he just pulled out his gun and shot him. But it was so funny and so spontaneous that they kept it in the film. I bet you didn't know that.
Certainly one way to react when you need to run top speed to the toilet. That's one way to get out of work, definitely.
Positive things about having diarrhea, Phil.
Well, definitely. I don't think it's a long list. So what would your rating be for this film? Out of 5, Dan, what would you give it?
I think I'd have to, as an all-round action comedy classic, I'd have to give it 5, actually.
No,
It's,
I think me too. It's very, very difficult to find fault with this film. If you haven't seen Raiders of the Lost Ark already, I really recommend it. It's, as Dan said, fun for all the family, and I think such an important part of Hollywood history, and a really great film. So give it a watch and enjoy it.